Plumbing, making sales or giving options. When I got into plumbing the first time, it was literally hardcore, get out, get the job done, move on to the next. Everything was time and material. Nowadays, it's about sales, or is it really? Hang around because in this video, I'm gonna teach you the difference in being a hardcore salesman and giving people great options. If you've never been here before, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. We're here to teach you how to make more money and learn how to be a better plumber. If you're plumbing, are you making sales or are you giving options? I hate it when people would come to me and say, look, we're gonna teach you to be a good salesman. Well, I never looked at plumbing as sales. I never thought about walking into a house, selling the customer something. But to be honest, in a way, that is what we're doing. But I want you to learn to look at it a completely different way. Today, I want you to get the sales out of your mind. And what I want you to do is focus on communications.
Got an order from the boss. Dump everything that isn't about
Sales.
everything. Everything. Come on, come on, come on. Quicker, quicker. Delete, delete.
What you're doing is, number one, you are the professional that's been invited into somebody's house to help them with their problem. So I want you to think about it that way. When you show up, you're there as a problem solver. You did not create the problem. I used to have a plumber that would call me in the middle of a slab leak diagnosis. He'd be doing testing or location or something like that. And he'd call me, and I mean, you could hear it in his voice. And he's like, look, man, this is bad. He said, and I know these people can't afford it. And I'd talk to him and I'd say, did we cause this problem? And he'd be like, no. It's like, okay, and there's no way we can cause this problem. We are the solution provider. So I'm gonna talk to you today about options, but then at the end, I'm gonna tell you how I see it compared to sales. And if you're a homeowner, hang around, because when I get to the end and I explain the sales part to you, I want to give you some things to look for to let you know when it's time to run. So first of all, option number one. Option number one should always be your very basic option. What can you do to fix the problem? Now, hopefully you're looking at the entire plumbing system. Hopefully you're building a relationship when you walk in with people. You're coming in, you're talking, you're communicating, you're getting to know them, but what you're doing here, you're communicating. You are listening to what they say. Most people will tell you what kind of problems they have, what their pain points are, what their fears are, anything at all like that. And going through the Sandler sales training program was great for me. Communication skills and learning how to listen are the biggest thing. But option number one should be your very basic option. We can fix the problem this way. Now, I also like to go on and explain to them, this is not a long-term fix. This is a problem that we can get you through the day, maybe the week, maybe the month. And I hate to tell you this, but this is liable to break, like I said, in a month, and then the money you invest now is wasted. Option number two. Option number two is the one that most people normally pick, but I think that it's normally picked because they understand of what it is. Option number two should be, this is more like a plumbing restoration. We can restore things to the way that they were when you bought the house. We can go under there, we can clean it, we can fix it, we can make the repair, we can take it apart, we can put it back together, we can replace the parts, whatever it is. So think about that. Option number one's a Band-Aid, but option number two is more like a restoration. That third option is now we're gonna rejuvenate your system. We're gonna build it up to where it is as good a system as you would get in any house today. Now, this could be taking somebody from a tank type water heater to a tankless water heater. It could be taking them from a standard HVAC system to a full-blown HVAC system with new ducts and an indoor air quality system. A lot of different options there. You give people options. It was really funny because I was sitting next to an attorney for a big marketing firm last week at a conference. And it was fantastic because, they were going down the line, there were four of us asking questions and letting each one of us answer it. And he was really neat. He said, if you walk into my house and you don't try to sell me, you're making a mistake because I want the very best that there is out there. What do you need to do for people? What trade are you in? What options could you give them to make them think, wow, you know what? That's really what I want. Because in my house, I have upgraded to the water filtration system. I have upgraded to the anti-scale device. Why? Because I understand the value in it. I have the knowledge and I understand it. And my thing is, if I'm not going to put it in my house, why would I recommend this to any other customer out there? So if you're one of these plumbers and you're afraid of sales, let me ask you this. Are you really selling them or not? To be honest, if you've looked around their plumbing system and they have old pipes, they have an old toilet, they have an old faucet, they have an old shower head that's just gushing water out. If you offer to repair that or upgrade it, if you offer to restore that or rejuvenate it, are you really selling to them? I think you're giving them great options. And here's another thing too. If your company doesn't have financing, and I think that you should, you can always tell them, look, here's the price for this, here's the price for this, and this one, this is only so many dollars per month. You're still not hardcore selling them. You are actually giving them options and finding a way to make it where it fits within their budget even easier. So my whole thought process here is, and this is something that I had to learn, because remember, I'm an old T&M plumber. Let me get in, let me knock it out quick, let me collect my money, let me run to the next job. That way I can do it again. But here's the thing, now I want to come in, I want to build relationships with people. I want to talk to them. I want to find out what their worries are, what their concerns are. Because if I can help them not worry and not have concerns over their plumbing, HVAC system, whatever it is, now I'm becoming a trusted advisor to them. As a homeowner, here's the only time you really need to be worried. When you've got somebody coming in that's trying to hardcore sell you today. This is today, this price is only good today, it's not good tomorrow. Or when you can tell they're really not coming in testing things, checking things out. To come in and do a whole house evaluation, it takes a little bit of time. But you want to get in, you want that plumber to look at everything. Think about it. You have a trained professional right there in your house. Give them the opportunity to let them look at everything to see what's wrong. To be honest, most of them aren't just trying to sell you stuff. Most of them are trying to look at things and possibly give you an option to put a Band-Aid on, an option to restore it to the way it was, or an option to rejuvenate it and build it up to a current system that might really surprise you and save you money. If you're a plumber, are you taught to be a hardcore salesman, or are you taught the best way to give people options? It's all in communications. Are you listening to your customer and giving them exactly what they want? And if you're a customer and you do have a hardcore salesman, I suggest just asking them to leave. Because the problem with that is, you may have another problem that a professional eye may see that may save you tens of thousands of dollars. This happened to me whenever I looked at a water heater in an attic and told a lady, hey, this water heater is 12 years old. It's only designed for 6 or 8 years. I would look at replacing this before I did the remodel. She said, yeah, I may do that later. I'm not worried about it right now. She called me 3 days later in the middle of the week and said, I wish I'd have listened to you. She said that water heater ruptured. My ceiling is now in the floor and I've got major problems. I'm Roger Wakefield, helping you make more money in the trades. Either way, leave me a comment. Would you prefer options, or would you just come